Hey guys, welcome back to TAMIYA Legends, and once again, thank you for stopping by. So I've got something slightly different for you today. So if you didn't know, from the 10th of December, YouTube changes forever. Don't know if it's for the better, but that's what I want to talk about in this video. I just want to chime in with my two penneth, as it were, of these changes. In this video, I'll give you a tiny little bit of background on what's happened and what I feel should happen, but what I actually think will happen, which in my opinion could destroy RC on YouTube, but I'm really hoping not. So long story short, YouTube have basically got into trouble for collecting data on children from videos. Now there's no problem with that. I think we would all agree that that's a good thing. So basically when the age of the children is 13 years and lower. So there's been a huge court case by the FTC, which is in America, which is a Fedral Trade Commission, and YouTube's been forced to do a $170 million settlement. And the rule that the FTC got them on is called COPPA, which is a Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. So basically YouTube have been through that, and now they have to change their terms and conditions. And basically they're not going to take responsibility for the content that's on there. It's now down to the content provider, and you know, that's fine. So what this means for the content provider is that every time you upload a video, you have to state if that video's for children or not, so anyone under 13 years of age. Again, that's no biggie. You can also make the setting on your standard settings on your channel if all your videos are not for children, or even indeed if all your videos are for children. So, talking about my channel now, this is what I'm hoping will happen, and common sense will prevail, as it were. So obviously I'm an RC channel, but I'm sort of vintage TAMIYA. I'm really hoping, what I should say straight away is my channel now is marked as not for children, not for kids, anyone under 13. Now here's my analytics from YouTube. So as you can see by that picture, I have no under 13s who watch my content at all. Now I'll just pop up my Facebook and my Instagram analytics. They're all the same. My audience is of that particular age range, not any percent under 13. So for my channel, in theory, I should be fine, you would think. Now this is what I'm saying. If this, in my opinion, this is the right way to do it. YouTube will look at their own analytics that they've collected, and they will see that my channel is not marked for children, and also my audience is not children. So in theory, my channel doesn't change. So that's what I want to happen. But right guys, so here's my fear. I guess my thumbnail gave it away slightly by that very famous TAMIYA slogan, toys they're not. My fear is that if YouTube don't use their own analytics, which I'm really hoping they do, then an RC car, not just car, boat, plane, drone, helicopter, whatever RC it is, will go into the toy bracket. If that happens, then I think that's going to be an absolute disaster for any and all RC in YouTube in the future. Now again, I'm no expert, I don't know what I'm talking about. This is just kind of a gut feeling of a little bit of research I've done already. I have really no dog in this fight. And I've got to be honest, you know, if it went to toys, and let's face it, a small RC channel is mega difficult to grow. Everyone who's got a channel is really up against the algorithm. It doesn't put you out there. My channel, for the size of it, is doing okay, I have to say, but nevertheless, to how it was 3-4 years ago. So if this becomes even harder to get a video out there, you know, are people going to bother? So let's just imagine this scenario. Now, I'm not going to talk about any other person's channel. I'm just going to talk in general because I don't have their facts and figures. But there is a big thing on YouTube of toy grade RC and hobby grade RC. Do we really think YouTube people are going to take the time to make that separation from toy grade to hobby grade? I don't. I think if it's chosen, if it's decided that an RC car is a toy, then obviously there's so many channels out there who are, their whole content is based on toy grade RC, you know, and some channels are doing really well. If that's toy grade is now a toy and it's for a kid, that channel, I mean, first of all, it's going to lose, they're talking about sort of the 70% figure of a decrease in monetization if that's what the channel does. But also there's so many other things. That video is not going to trigger the algorithm anymore because there's going to be no likes, dislikes, no comments. You can't put end cards on. You can't put links in the videos. So it really is, if your video is deemed a kid's video, it's only your subs who actually watch your stuff are going to see it. Growth wise, I just think it's a disaster. So if you are that kind of channel, I do honestly believe, in my opinion, this could be a real problem. So just imagine that if you are that kind of channel, and again, it doesn't have to be car, boat, play, it can be anything RC. You know, if that separate segregation is made by YouTube, toy grade, hobby grade, then it's gonna split your channel down the half and make things a lot more complicated. But as I say, if everything is deemed a toy, now despite whether it's hobby grade or toy grade, then is the motivation there anymore to make those videos? Now I know what you're all saying, or I can imagine what some of you are saying. Well, it kind of depends if you're interested in the monetization side of YouTube. Lots of people aren't. And if you know anything about the monetization, you've got to be a really big channel, you know, a massive channel. Someone like me who's coming up on 7,000 subs sounds like a biggish channel for what I do. This channel's running at about 90,000 views a month. Again, sounds pretty good. The payment you get back for that it's minimal. I don't even think you're allowed to say what you get actually on YouTube. I think it breaks rules. But a full year of this will probably buy me 2 or 3 of the cheaper TAMIYA kits, to give you a rough idea. So it's not like, you know, you can make a living off it. But imagine if you are one of those huge channels out there, and again, I'm not going to name them, but we know there are some huge RC channels. You know, if it all goes to toy, are those channels going to carry on? I don't know, but what I'm saying, the whole point of this video is, I'm really hoping this is not the end of RC for YouTube. So I guess it's fingers crossed for everyone who runs channels, and even people who just watch stuff, that YouTube sort of, you know, sees sense and uses it, as I say, uses its own analytics, its own data to decide what a channel's viewers are, and not just lump something into categories as toys. I'll give you another quick analogy. Imagine if you're, and I don't know any, but if you imagine you're a doll collector and you've got your own channel and you collect vintage dolls from way back in the day, the word doll could be easily put into the category of toy. And that person's audience, again, could be 40, 50, 60, 70-year-olds. Kids go nowhere near it. But if they go down the category route, that channel will be stuffed as well. Now, this is all up in the air. I have no idea if any of this is going to happen. But given what I've seen on YouTube and social media platforms in the last couple of years, you know, these things happen. And we've got to bear in mind that YouTube are going to do everything they can to protect themselves. Now, if that means lumping all RC into toys for under 13s, then there's nothing we can do about it. So in summary, I'm really hoping, like a lot of people, that these new regulations don't go too silly and really hurt RC channels. Because even if you don't follow channels, you know, even if you're not sub to RC channels, but you do go on YouTube, I mean, we all like to, when we need a bit of information on something, how does this work, how do I wire that up or whatever, you know, YouTube's almost always the first port of call to watch a little video, and you know, it's so useful. So fingers crossed that isn't going to happen, but I do believe if this goes worst case scenario, then over 2020 and so on, the RC on YouTube will decrease dramatically. But as I say, hopefully YouTube will do the right thing. I hope so anyway. So anyway, that was just a little video in case you weren't aware of the changes. It's going to be quite interesting to see what happens over the, well, probably the next 12 months, I guess. And anyway, I think I've said enough on it, but leave in the comments what you guys think. I'd be really interested, especially if you're a channel, and you know, even if you have got the same fear that it's going to be, RC is going to be classed as a toy. Anyway, stick it in the comments, because I'd love to get some feedback on this and see what you guys are actually thinking. So once again guys, thanks for watching, it's really appreciated. If you are new to this channel, if you could please consider liking and subscribing to support us, and if you do that, please smash that notification buzzer for our weekly videos. And most importantly of all, what I always say is, I'm going to say something different. Just remember guys, toys, they're not.